Every woman.
That is Shaka Khan, and I hope those of you that were tuned in before can hear us now. Anthony, Linda, and of course Morgan, give us a thumbs up. You know, we're celebrating women the entire month of March, but in our chamber, we celebrate women every day, not just International Women's Day or month, Women's History. We celebrate those doing great work in our community. And you know what? It's great to be with you today. I started my day with you at like 7:10 this morning.
Shaka Khan, we told everybody I saw Shaka Khan with Rufus
Shaka Khan
in Hollywood Sportatorium in 1978.
And you also told us when no one could hear us that you were there, of course, on a date.
1978. By the way, one of the founders of Miami, a couple of them are women, correct?
The absolute founder of the city of Miami is a woman, Julia Tuttle.
Right.
What's fascinating about Julia Tuttle is on the date of incorporation, she couldn't vote because she was a woman. So she could not be in that meeting with the men who were there, including several African-American men. And she could not vote. So we're very grateful that she had some stick-to-itiveness and
we've
helped found the city of Miami.
We have had a lot of women mayors. Calvo was the first woman mayor
for the county. Yep, Daniela. Sure. Hi, Lily. I'm glad you can hear us. I hope Commissioner Bell rejoined. I was glad to see her on here. Great leader in our community.
So let's talk about community newspapers breakfast today.
Yeah.
Was he
7:10 in the morning. So you get there, and here's what goes on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a free-for-all for croquetas, pastelitos. But today, I don't know if you're getting a bill or what, but they had scrambled eggs with ham and queso. Jamón y queso. It looked really good, but I don't ever eat at those events. I leave that to my my fellow chamber colleagues who like to eat.
So you want to tell who the speaker was?
Today's speaker was someone that I had never met before in person, but that I have heard about from you and others. Alex Mirabal, who is the assistant head coach and offensive line coach for the University of Miami Hurricanes. And he returns to the university in a different capacity. He was, of course, a student and student athlete, and he played there. But he had a great journey. He went from there, and he taught at Columbus.
Braddock.
He taught at Braddock High School in the public school system here. Then he went to FIU with Mario.
Right.
When Mario and the entire squad were let go, Mario went to Alabama. And where did he go? He went to Marshall.
What was the name? Thunder? What's her team?
Thundering Herd.
Right.
So let me tell you a quick Marshall story. So the coach that he referenced to Hireman was a guy named Doc Holliday.
Real name.
His real name. And guess where he cut his teeth as an associate head coach?
Gators.
He was a Gator. And he worked under Spurrier, and I think he did some work under maybe it was under Urban Meyer, but Doc was an amazing recruiter in South Florida, and so he probably knew who Alex was, but brought him up there. And of course, when the whole squad got the gig full-time in Oregon, Cristobal called him and said, join me. But I see that, his wife's had to move a few times, and they've just moved again cross-country back to Miami. And I guess all of their belongings arrived today, and she was unpacking. Yeah, so she was unpacking this morning. I guess they arrived yesterday. So he was taking his cool time answering questions.
This week they're on spring break. That's why we did it this week.
Oh.
Yeah, they practiced 1 week last week. This week they're off.
Spring break. This is like your life. 1 week on, 1 week off. Do you still go on spring break? I feel like I might run into you in like Cancun or maybe,
no, I don't. Spring break to me,
the Panhandle.
Spring break to me is Sunday afternoon.
Well said.
Okay, so let's talk about Coral Gables Chamber.
Yes.
What's happening with Coral Gables Chamber?
So we've got a quiet week this week as we get ready for a couple of events over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, next week for our GEM level investors and leadership, we're doing a joint program for the first time with the University of Miami School of Business.
That's exciting.
Dean John Quelch. We're doing a joint interview of David Whitaker, the relatively new CEO of the GMCVB.
Where does he live?
I don't know if he's in the Grove.
Good answer.
He was looking to live in the Gables. So yeah, he's still looking for a Gables opportunity. And we're trying to help him out with that. But he and his lovely wife, I saw them at Super Bowl party a few weeks ago. And I feel like he's really, excited to be here, settling in.
A Super Bowl party?
Yeah, I told you that Uncle Rodney Barreto invited me to that at Forte.
Yeah, I didn't get invited.
In February. Well, there wasn't a +1 opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, lately, you seem to just only want to commiserate, conflagellate, and congregate in your own building. Elevator right away.
Well, let's talk about something interesting. Today is everything you think is a wrong day. I love
that. So they started that this
you got
morning.
that at your chamber.
Yeah, no, it's definitely our motto today and most days. But what I would tell you is they were talking about it this morning at around 5:45 when I flicked on the news.
What
And
station?
NBC6, because I'm still very loyal to the Pam Gigantes of the world, and
She's your girl.
Of course, and they got a whole new crew. But I love the weatherman. John Morales is pretty cool. He went to Cornell, so I like their relationship. We've had a lot of them come in and speak or MC things, but they're trying out some young people and giving them a shot. I'm always amazed that the young people have like a Twitter handle and they have an Instagram handle and they promote that heavily on the news. So they talked about everything being wrong today. So that seems right.
Today is National Equal Pay Day.
It is. And why is that?
Because every dollar a man makes, a woman makes 83 cents.
That's correct. And on March 15th.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
Because you're smart and you love women. March 15th this year is the day when if women kept working would equal a man's pay in 2021. So on December 31st, the man's pay is finalized. It takes another 2.5 months for women to reach that percentage of 100%, that additional 17%. And it's kind of disappointing. It's embarrassing that women have to work another 2.5 months to have equal pay. So
the third Tuesday is World Social Work Day. What does that mean?
So we're celebrating people who are social workers, who work for our nonprofits, who work in the community in so many worthy organizations. I am blessed to be on the board of a number of nonprofits, including the Children's Trust. And we fund hundreds of organizations for children and family initiatives, after school care, tutoring,
who's the CEO of that?
internships. Jim Hodge. Okay. Jimmy was with the school board for many years, and he's been our CEO about 5 years. Great guy. And tonight we're having a little event, and it's going to be celebrating the new superintendent over at the offices. I think it's at 6:30.
Thanks for the invite. So
you think every invite I get has a +1? I think people invite me because I take up 2 spaces. And most importantly, I'm not married. So we only have to invite this guy.
And you don't eat a lot now.
I don't eat anything really out of it.
Okay, so speak about social
unless
work.
it's like a pig's in a blanket or like a wiener rolled in I don't know, barbecue, a blanket, or mustard.
Speak about social work. We talked about this Goodwill.
Yeah, Goodwill Industries.
They do an unbelievable job.
They do. They make American flags.
I know. I went on a tour there.
Really
and
amazing.
They make military uniforms.
Military uniforms, Kevlar, and other types of gear. And they're an amazing group. So when you think about it, they are providing employment opportunities for folks who may not have an easy pathway into employment. Maybe they have a particular disability or a cognitive issue, but this is the type of work Goodwill can train them. There's a lot of repetitiveness, what some folks are more comfortable with, and they do a great job. Are you laughing at something from Tommy?
Tommy, welcome back. He's in somewhere.
Tommy doesn't care. He's still celebrating National Pie. Well, no one's going to stop you here, Tommy. Now I'm going to ask you, are you more partial to a fruit pie, a cream pie, or a savory pie like a chicken pot pie? We had all of those yesterday at the chamber. Morgan brought a key lime pie. I think Devin brought an apple crumble. I brought a chicken pot pie and a blueberry pie.
And national pie cake, is it pie?
Pie, because it's 3.14. It's the math equivalent of pi.
Oh, gotcha.
So when you're, doing a diameter, circumference, radius of circles,
What's your favorite pie?
Oh, banana cream with a close second of pumpkin. The pumpkin is seasonal, so I didn't try either because I brought a pumpkin pie too. I forgot, but I think it went back in the fridge.
I have to.
Are you eating it now, Devin?
Okay, I have to tell you a funny story. Speak about pies and cakes. So there's no part.
You have funny stories.
There's banana or cream. All right.
By the way, he's right on the money. I think coconut cream is amazing.
All right. So last night, University of Miami was hosting Westminster High School and Columbus. It was a fundraiser.
Okay.
there was
Was it like they were playing like a
wait,
game?
fireman's Derrick pies. Okay.
Absolutely, like the crack pie, right, George? Very popular crack pie.
So I can't find a parking spot. So I go into the pizza parking lot.
Okay.
And you can't just park there. So I go in,
Order something.
They don't sell a slice, so they sell a slice of chocolate cake that was about this big.
Really? How much is that?
I don't know. And I was starving.
And they probably marked it up a tad because it was National Pie Day yesterday.
Yeah. So I had a big piece of chocolate cake walking to the baseball stadium.
So is it a cake or a pie?
It was a cake pie. I don't know, but it was about this
a pie
big. Pie caking, maybe. Then I went to the baseball game for 3 innings. And
your car was still there, and there's probably chocolate all over the front of you.
All over. It was all over my face.
Chocolate cake is hard to manage.
Wait, Jennifer says,
Yvette and Jen also brought pies. Yes, they brought empanadas and tried to trick everybody that they were Spanish pies. The jury's still out on that. So
okay, so
and Jennifer, please don't refer to yourself in the third person.
Okay, so thank you, UM Miami, for supporting that event.
And what was the goal? Like they did a little scrimmage?
No, they had a game. It was there was a foundation they were raising money for.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so speak about that. I ate a big piece of cake. It was about 1,500 calories. And you work out? Let me hear.
Yeah, so we're coming down to the last couple days of the 60-day challenge, and so I've got to weigh in at the end of the week. So we've thrown in. We don't do a lot of push-ups in my workout. You know what we do? A lot of planks. So I do 3 planks in a row, 45 seconds each, and I get 30 seconds in between. And that last plank, I'm counting it in my head, and I'll be like 45, 44, 43, 42, 41. I'll get down to 30, and he'll go 44. And I'm like on my elbows because I'm doing a low plank, and whew, it's rough.
So,
but I can do modified push-ups. Like if I'm in a barbell class, I can do sometimes from the knees.
That's okay.
Almost like a yoga move, and then I can do some that are up all the way, but I'm not getting down all the way to my chest.
So do you remember when you started working out? Well, before you started working out, or me? Let's use me.
All right.
I used to see people heavy, and I go, they work out and they're still heavy. Well, I'm one of those guys. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get over 2 things. I think 1, that this is a process and a journey. And 2, that when you start working out as significantly as I did in August, I'm gaining a lot of muscle weight.
Do you feel it?
Oh, I definitely feel it. I mean, I certainly feel a lot more solid. I feel a lot more toned.
Ooh.
And, my arms actually, have some
definition,
tonality to them. So either way, I'm not discouraged by that because Omar is not discouraged. But I think I'll end up having not lost any weight during the 60-day challenge, but I probably will have gained 10 pounds of muscle.
So what about your waist?
Oh, my waist is definitely smaller. So before I started
your heaviest
dieting, my heaviest was 475.
No, your weight. No, people don't understand weight. Your belt size.
My belt size at my heaviest was probably 64.
Okay, now?
44.
Wow. People could relate to that.
Yeah. And the belt, has a couple holes in it, so it has some give. I am in the final hole of the 44, 46.
That's great. That's how I measure.
I'll be able to go to like a 42, 44. But, at this point, it's like just keep on keeping on. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. And you're right. Like I look at people and I feel for them because I see them and they wear the same dress to every one of your events because that's the only thing they fit in. And I'm always like, you probably shouldn't do the step and repeat photo.
Interesting. Good point. Listen,
I'm not saying who it is. I know you want me to.
No,
I'm not like that.
Okay, farmers market coming up. Only 2 Saturdays left.
Yes, we have this Saturday, the 18th.
Need to get on that plan.
Sorry, 19th. Lily, you've done great work too, and Lily's done a number of things, and we often commiserate together. The best thing that happened to me was obviously a little bit of, the COVID interruption because I used to go to an event every night of the week. At least 5 nights a week.
You still do now.
Just started picking up, I would say, this late January, early February, as we kind of came through Omicron. So like the last 2 weeks, last week I had 7 events. The week before that was probably 5.
And why don't you ever invite me?
Because some of them aren't things that I think would interest you. Like last week, I had a guys dine out dinner with the Gay and Lesbian Chamber. There were 40 gentlemen.
Why can't I go there?
Well,
will you be jealous they might hit on me?
I don't think anybody's going to hit on you. They like much younger men. But I think the guys there want to know that everybody there is gay and they're doing business together.
Wait, that's wrong. You mean if they won't do business if I'm not gay?
It's not true.
Oh,
they would accept you wholeheartedly.
Okay.
And half the group would probably be like, Mark, come on, that guy's totally sus. And I would be like, we've been working together the last few years. We've been doing, these shows and other things. So, but that was Monday night, Tuesday night. I was out and about with the Consul General of Japan for the Emperor's birthday. We had an event, Wednesday, of course, out for something else. So by the time Friday rolls around and I get done around 6:30, I'm ready. I'm like ready to get in my jammies.
Jammies?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's your favorite movie? Million Little Things. You ever watch that?
No.
Oh.
My favorite movie of all time is The Sound of Music, which I saw this weekend.
Oh my God.
My other
Where'd you see
favorite
it?
Comedy movie is Uncle Buck, starring, of course, John Candy.
And they love him at the end of the movie. They love him.
Uncle Buck. I'm Uncle Buck kind of to my nieces and nephews.
Do you have a beat up car that makes noise like that is?
It's currently beat up and making some strange noises after getting hit by an Amazon truck.
Where do you watch Sound of Music? At your house?
No, they were showing a full screen of it on Sunday at the Art Cinema.
Black, white, color?
No, it was in full color. It was in full Technicolor back in 1965.
Oh.
But what you don't get when you watch it on TV, of course, is the surround sound generally, and you don't get the full screen experience. And it's edited for TV. And so you lose some scenes, you lose some songs, you lose some of the integrity of the movie that Robert Wise made. And, I've had a chance in my life to meet both Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer. And they both had very different experiences. Julie Andrews loved that movie. It was game-changing
for
her. And then Christopher Plummer never would talk about it.
Why?
And so I asked him, and he says, the movie was portrayed to me as me being like a captain in the Navy, war hero, and yet I was like dancing, the Lindor in a ballroom in his home in, Salzburg. So but he came around because I think Julie Andrews, who he had befriended, said, that movie was so meaningful to me. The fact that you don't like it hurts my feelings. And he was a good guy. And you know what? He sort of recanted, said, you know what? I hear you. It maybe wasn't for me, but a lot of people know me, Christopher Plummer, because of Sound of Music. That's how I first encountered it.
You love Sound of Music. And Lily loves The Hills Are Alive.
The Hills Are Alive. That's the opening song when, Maria, who is a postulate, is up on the mountain losing track of time. And what's great about that, I don't know if you know this, Lily,
I thought that was
but the day they filmed it was incredibly overcast. And so they waited and waited and waited and waited and waited for hours to film that. And all of a sudden, toward the end of the afternoon, they had a little break in terms of the clouds and some sunlight, and they filmed it then. And it's marvelous, Productions today would not do that. They would film it, and then they would go in and digitally change the weather. So what you're seeing is exactly what happened. Some of the movie was shot in Salzburg and other parts of Austria, and some of it was done on a soundstage, of course, in Hollywood.
Wow. Okay. So, your chairperson?
Yes, Anna Chowie.
I did a video at Columbus High School, and he was one of my feature. Did you see it?
I didn't see that. Huh. You were doing a video, so you had Juan Carlos on the video?
Yes. We had your boy. It was really good.
My boy.
Yeah.
Well, Juan Carlos is a junior, rising to be a senior. We've done a couple of things together, like for Burgerlicious. He's a great kid. I mean, Anna,
great kid,
and her husband have done a great job. But I think next year he'll be the vice president of CCNN,
right?
Which you may want to sue them over, since you're CNN. I can't imagine who might sue you for that. But you can only understand that when you meet that kid, like, he's super dedicated to his craft. So I tell Anna all the time, he would be a great Gator. We have the best journalism school in Southeast U.S. It's #1, top 5 public.
There he is.
And I think he would do great.
You say that?
Mm-hmm. Is that Carter?
Carter? Yeah, we did a little video.
Carter looks good there. He's 79.
79.
You have him screaming into the camera. Take it easy, brother.
Okay. So this is the best time for amateur sports.
I think so.
Is it the Sweet 16 for basketball, boys, men's, and women, 64 too?
The men are 68. The women are for the first time ever 68. So they've got some play-in games.
It is just exciting.
First time the women are using the brand March Madness as well for their tournament.
Because the women basketball is just as exciting.
Listen, my Florida Gators have struggled for years as in the women's basketball. This year, they made a great 20-win game run. They made the tournament. They had a couple of victories there, and they got a 10 seed. So super excited that the Lady Gators will be there. I believe the Lady Hurricanes under Coach Katie Meyer, who's great, will be there as well. They're also a 10 seed. But we're opening up against UCF. So a little, 100-mile road rivalry. My men did not make the tournament. They'll be NIT. And they're playing Rick Pitino's team from Iona to open the NIT.
And the one thing that's exciting about NIT, it's all played at Madison Square.
No, the first 2 rounds are played at home courts. So the higher seed, like we'll host Iona,
and then it goes to NIT.
And then there's only 32 teams, so it goes quick. So and then the last 4 go to New York. I think the final 4.
Pretty exciting. I
think it's great. And I know that a lot of Gators are disappointed, but listen, we've made the tournament when it's happened. I think 5 of the 7 last years. We're one of the most productive teams in the last 20, other than Kentucky from the SEC. And of course, that included Billy Donovan. But you know what happened? The day after the season ended on Sunday and we were announced NIT, our coach quit and went to be the coach at Georgia. So people have asked me, they're like, well, what do you think about that? He's going to a rival. And I said, I will help him pack. He was not the right guy, lovely family, didn't build a culture of winning. He had 7 seniors and super seniors on that team. If you can't make a field of super 68,
senior, it's great.
If you can't make a field of 68, you do need to reevaluate. And let me tell you, University of Georgia, they could care less if you win, 10 games. That more than they've won the last 2 years. They're perfectly happy with mediocrity.
Not in their football.
Well, they were mediocre for years. Just been the last few that Kirby has been there.
Right.
But, Kirby was taught by Nick Saban. As soon as that job's open, he'll be back over. He and Dabo will be fighting it out.
Dabo, oh, what's funny that he's speaking.
Seem to have knocked you off your pivot with that.
Dabo is going to be speaking in Gainesville at the FCA breakfast in next month, in a couple months. Okay, let's talk about something.
That's Dabo Sweeney from Clemson, ACC rival to Miami.
Trustee reception.
We had a great reception, and we had a number of prospects who already joined. I think 2 that joined, another one who committed to join at that event. Lily Sir's helping us, of course, with one of those.
Lily, way to go, Lily.
That's thinking about it, working on it. She helped with another one who upgraded. And then I think, we're up to like 4 for the month. So March is always kind of our madness month. Our goal is to have a high.
And Jennifer needs to sell how many more? Jennifer, I know you're listening.
She is listening, but she is in denial, probably under her desk.
Okay, so, about the cakes? You mean about the pies?
No, she was, letting me know that her Spanish empanadas were delightful. And listen, I had one of them. I think I ate the ham and cheese.
How's that a pie?
Quite good. It's a Spanish pie.
They
tried to work me over in the kitchen, and I just relented because, I was focused.
Okay, so trustee reception is great. You had something with the Marlins?
We did a cafecito with the Marlins, and that was in our space, and we had neighbors and business folks from our building come down.
Alfie
was there. Billy the Marlin was there. Andre was there. Juan, Antonio. I mean, the whole crew. We probably had 60 to 75 folks. I don't know. Morgan can tell me. I asked her the other day, but she's been struggling with her memory and numbers.
Okay. PI Day. What's that?
That's Pi Day. We talked about Pi.
Oh, you did PI. I don't know what that is.
Pi is a formula in math.
Oh, it's exciting. Doctor's Hospital's coming around the race.
We're working on that now. Erica's got a few things to button up with the city, but imminently we should have a date to announce. It'll be in late April. And it's a great fun. Our board always supports that event. It's a 5K, 10K. We do get a number of runners who just come out on a Saturday because they want to run a longer race. Not a lot of 10Ks here in South Florida. And so they've been our title sponsor for 25 years. This is our anniversary season. So
and how many
you
years?
Can walk it, you can run it. Gloria Burns has walked it many times. And other folks that run it. And we've got some real jackrabbits that run very fast and get across that finish line in like under 20 minutes. Pretty cool. It's a very flat course, runs through the neighborhood around Greenway, South Greenway, North Greenway. and a beautiful scenic route. So stay tuned. And thanks to Elsa Figueiredo Powers and the entire team at Doctors, Jose Romano, of course, Javier, Hernandez Lichtel, the whole squad. Very supportive, 25
Again,
years.
Can we talk about what's happening March 30th, that event at business? I think it's
Business
cool.
Women of the Year Awards. We've got, I think, 9 or 10 different categories where we're honoring outstanding women. So everything from
and you list the top 5 or is it everybody?
It depends on the category, but we go through a vetting process. So, I want people to feel assured. We have 7 judges who meet. They make sure people are in the right category, that they've been appropriately vetted. And then we pare that down to a group to vote on, and then those folks become finalists.
Now, is it sold out yet?
It's close. I saw Erica send an email today to one of the finalists because we are social distancing in terms of full capacity. So I think we're going to try to be around 200, and we were pretty close. I think she told me yesterday we were about 168. So
it's close. You get 2 more weeks.
Yeah, but she needs to probably call in her numbers middle to late next week.
Your sponsor, as always.
Equitable Advisors, of course, has sponsored this with us nearly 20 years. Louis Chiappi, Renee Negron, Felix, of course. Great crew. I think what's great is we have 5 or 6 award programs at the Chamber. Young professionals. We do ones for architecture. We do the George Merrick Award.
That event, I'm not a big architecture.
Yeah, it's a great event.
It's
every
a
July.
great event. The people are so proud of that.
I think it'd be, architects on behalf of their clients on behalf of their design team. But what I would say is the Businesswoman of the Year Awards brings out the greatest amount of enthusiasm.
Is this going to be, can I wear a hat? Is that like women going to wear hats or anything?
We don't require that, but that may be something for, the future.
There
are organizations that do hat luncheons. Vizcaya does that as a big fundraiser, and those are a lot of really powerful.
We can wear a Gainesville hat.
Women. You can wear whatever you like. We're not going to turn people away for a dress code. We'd like you to basically be clean and fresh. That's all that's important.
That's tough for me.
Because I have a very, very sensitive nose. I've had to work through that over the years. Thankfully, our members are always of the highest level of hygiene.
Okay, let's go over the trustees again.
Yes.
According to Jennifer.
Well, Jennifer, of course, is doing what she loves to do, which is rebut. Thank you for all of our new members that joined the Chamber. We had 4 trustees this month so far. Thank you, Jennifer. You left out something in that sentence.
What would she leave out?
So far.
So far. Right.
Yeah, keep going, grow. We had 337 members join in 2021. Our general high watermark for joining the Chamber is 220, 225. That overperforms us over 100. And we're continuing to see a lot of activity.
What percentage is that?
It's probably, what? I don't know, 40%.
Yeah. I mean, in the middle of this COVID, and I think
part of it was, not all of it. We were emerging out of Delta and Omicron.
Yeah, but I'm saying
we're still definitely, absolutely. And with Jennifer's support and working with our board of directors and the membership committee and Lauren and Nguyen, I mean, they do a great job. They're very enthusiastic about the Chamber, about the committee and its performance, and about how we as an organization support and engage with our investors.
Well, your next event is when? Because I'm a little confused. I told you I'm going to see you Thursday, and you told me.
I mean, I'm willing to get up and have breakfast with you, and I'm sorry that we're not going to be able to.
Well, now I get to work out
to do that, but we're working with City National Bank to host that event in May, and so it's postponed until May. But we will have a breakfast in April. It'll focus on autism. We're going to have a parent and professional who has 3 children on the spectrum.
Who's that?
I think her name is Jennifer Sando. And she'll be in partnership with Crystal Academy, Center for Autism and Research, Card. I think it's going to be a very uplifting morning. So bring a tissue and come in and understand that we have 2 goals. 1, to continue to educate people about, those with cognitive disabilities and how they can enter the workforce. And 2, the resources that are out there to support families who may have a child on the spectrum. Or a child who's, growing. You talked about Goodwill. That could be an opportunity for employment down the line.
It's interesting we talk about this. Like Commissioner Regalado has 2 special needs.
She has one who's more severe than the other.
That's correct.
But this is very important to her. And we've worked together on several occasions when she was in the school board and when she has been on the county commission.
Dr. Gonzalez, who has a show every other Friday, he has 3 children. And, you know,
That's significant.
yes. And a lot of places are hiring. Berry Farm has a program for
Mhm.
special needs kids that
Sure.
they work.
And there are other programs out there. I mean, we're very proud of what Publix does. Commissioner Regalado, Raquel told me that they're going to be doing some things at the county level. Because I think, the county, the cities, and municipalities need to walk that talk, not just go to private sector and say, you need to do this. I think they can be great role models. And I think we as a chamber can create those avenues for engagement.
I just saw somewhere there was a model. She's special needs. Just was I don't know which was. I just saw it. And so it's very touching. And there's a baseball league called Miracle League of Miami.
Sure.
Founded out of Howard Palmetto, the baseball league I'm at. It's
Sure.
for special needs. They have not started back, but they're planning to start back soon.
But they have a track record and people know about them.
Right.
And there are programs that we fund through the Children's Trust that work obviously with families who have children with disabilities, whether it's cognitive or physical, or being on the spectrum, obviously with autism, which, we are very proud of those programs. And those programs are all over the county, all over the community. You all, as taxpayers, pay into that fund, about $160 million in the aggregate. And then we, as a board of 30 or so, work with staff, work with the CBOs, and we put those dollars out as quickly as possible into the community so that they can be doing the good work that they were intended to do. We're very, very lucky because that was created by David Lawrence. He then got it, approved by the voters and then reapproved a second time. And so now we are a permanent part. So when you look at your tax bill, you'll see the Children's Trust. 0.5 mils is what our millage rate is this year. Came out in
Didn't it go
September.
Does it go up for revote again?
At the moment, we don't think legislatively that we'll have to do that again. We did it twice already, and I think the second time it passed with over 80%. But when you have a leader like Dave Lawrence, when you have leaders like Jimmy Hodge, and you have members of our board who are with the school system and the public health, Florida Health Department, FIU, I mean, you have a great group, and everybody comes to the table with a different expertise. I'm there representing the local business community. So I'm always looking, are we hiring vendors who are local? Are we bringing in people who are experts in what they do? And I don't care if that is aftercare programs. It could be marketing. It could be our expo that we do for back to school. And we have to be good stewards. We again had, for the 10th year in a row, a clean audit. And I presented that as the treasurer yesterday. And I told the board, our most important thing we do is serve as a fiduciary for these public funds. Trust is in our name, and people want to be able to trust us as we spend those dollars.
All right, Instagram. Every time you're coming, you're getting another 50, another 100.
We do, and I know Morgan gave me an update, but I left that in the car. I know it was over 6,300 when I was looking earlier in the week, because I always go and check our Instagram to see what photos we're posting, what Christine and Morgan are curating. We do a lot of statics and reels, and now, of course, stories. And we have a lot of fun. I hope everybody saw our Pi Day video that Jennifer shot yesterday, that I think went up on our Instagram. But we're also on LinkedIn. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, of course.
You got to do all the platforms.
You have to do all of them, and we have good support. But it is not easy to stay, on top of that, because the data, the information. I'm going to write an article that I'd like you to run.
Oh, you're sending us an article. It's been almost a year. You know that.
I don't believe it's been a year, but Morgan can check that out.
Morgan, can you please check that out? Because
I'll have Morgan work through all the bizarre emails you send her at night. But Morgan, if you can find that, what I'm going to write about is that people have lost the art of the schmooze. Being social distanced and isolated and work from home has caused some people to struggle with networking and schmoozing. So stay tuned.
I was walking into some store and the lady had her mask on, and I didn't think anything of it. And she says, "Why am I wearing my mask? We don't have to wear masks. Some people just
whatever you're comfortable with."
That is correct.
I will generally wear, if I'm going into a venue where there's a lot of people, I'll wear my mask in, and then I get the lay of the land. And if I feel comfortable, then I'll remove the mask. The other night when I went to a film festival
Thanks for the invite.
event. You're welcome. Invited by the Canadian Consul General and the Consulate of Canada in Miami. I walked by the director of the film festival. I was surprised he was there because, you know, they're in the middle of their event, which is a very big event. Haven't been together in 2 years. 2 years ago, they canceled the festival halfway through because I went to a movie or two and then they canceled it because this is the 2-year anniversary. It's this week. You know, we did an event on Tuesday, March 17th. That was our last event. And then our office went remote as of the 19th.
Didn't you interview 2 years ago, almost to the day, Jim DeFeeti?
It could be.
It was
Could
March.
be. I'd like to see us side by side now and see how we're doing. I know he's lost a few
Yeah, I hear
pounds, as have I, and you can do a little
it.
mashup.
I think you,
Andres, can we do a little mashup? Jim, send us your current headshot.
wait, Jimbo. So I think you should reach out to him. I think we should do a reunion. The two guys, I bet you between 200 pounds, 300 pounds between.
I was already losing some weight.
2
Well,
years.
very little because I had bought the Peloton.
Right.
And so I had just gotten started, but I was offsetting that, unfortunately, with, you know, a million events. In January and February and March, April are the, you know, epicenter of events. Really, really challenging. So, you know, I think got a lot of good folks out there, and very blessed that so many have joined our chamber. I did an interview this morning about, you know, the value of our chamber, and I did that with our chairwoman, Anna Chowie. And what was great about that is I do think people recognize, you know, the omnipresence that we have had, and pre-COVID as well, but that our team, our staff has been there, even if they've worked from home or we did some, you know, staggered shifts. You know, we have never closed the door. There's never been a day where you're going to get an out of office that says, yeah, it's COVID and we're done. You know, a lot of chambers really struggled to keep the doors open.
Well,
and
the ones that worked at it
sure
increased their memberships, and Core Gables Chamber.
we're seeing the benefits of that. And, you know, listen, we love our fellow chambers, but we have also learned that where some have fallen short, we will step in and just make sure the businesses are being supported. That is what I think our ultimate goal is. And so, you know, y'all come. Love to have you be part of the chamber. Jennifer is on here if you want some more information. We've got some nice events coming up in the next 2 to 3 weeks that we would love to have you at. And remember to read my article I'm going to pen called The Art of the Schmooze,
Okay.
Grant Miller's life story.
All right, you're going to send it to us. Morgan, please send it to me.
Well, I have to write it. I just
And,
thought about
and a
it.
new headshot, please.
No, I think I have one that's working pretty well. What do you think, Morgan? I just got asked by another publication if they could use my other headshot. And I said, you need to show it to me because we've had some publications run like really old pictures. And when you work as hard as I do, you know, honor that. Honor that.
So I have to tell you,
Because I know a lot of people who've gotten kind of, you know, chunky, put on a few pounds, and you better believe they're using their old headshot.
so
We'll be posting those on our Instagram tomorrow.
so Larry Adams comes to my office
So sweet.
about 2 years ago, and he says, I really like the your son's column. Guess what? It was my picture from 30 years ago, so I had to put an updated photo. Then
I mean, Grant, you have your own way, your own style. Never going to throw any shade in your direction because we are brothers. Are we not brothers?
yes, sir.
No offense, Michael, but we have to be there for each other.
I got 30 more years in the business.
At least.
30 more years. When I'm
At
95,
least.
I'm calling. So speak about 95. I mean 65. I got my Medicaid card. Do you have a black American Express?
I do not. I have a
Okay.
platinum.
When you get 65, you have a black credit card.
Really?
It's called Medicare.
Well, I'm not 65 now for another dozen years. So
Right.
I'm, you know, I'm taking my time.
Don't
climbing that
rush.
hill.
Don't rush.
Not in any rush. I feel great. And I want to thank you for, you know, always being our great partner. We talked this morning about the power of partnerships. And I think our chair said it the best. She goes, our calling card really is about the partnerships that we have built and developed. And many of them existed long before COVID. But we've been able to lean on them, lean into
Sing that
them.
song. I love that
etc.
song.
Lean on me.
You know that song, Andres? Can you find that song?
Oh, poor Andres.
Yeah,
Did we
Leon-
wake you?
Yes,
Sorry,
we
we were running a little bit late today. The previous show was going over.
did. Gary Allen from LA, I think. Is he from
Gary, is it a time issue? 3
LA? All right,
hours
we're ready.
behind.
We're gonna wrap it up. Don't worry, Andres. We didn't mean to wake you
Oh,
up.
Morgan said I took a picture a couple weeks ago. Did I?
Yes, let's share a song.
I don't remember that, Morgan. Sorry. I thought Devin took a pick. Tell me about this movie.
Is
Lean
it
on
true
Me.
Amazon is moving to Coral Gables?
I am not familiar with that. I may not be able to share that either. So, no. But Jennifer, it's nap time. Settle down.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up, Andres. Let's get our women's song.
I thought we were doing Lean on Me.
Lean on Me. Who wrote that?
Lean on me. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, don't tell me who it is, Andres. Give me like the first initial. BW. Barry Williams. Bill Withers. I don't think I would have gotten that.
Yeah, he just passed away. No, that's not. You know.
I don't think I would have gotten Bill
All right,
Withers.
so Gino,
I know a guy named Chip Withers.
Gino from Lifetime wants everybody to go out and visit with him. Well,
hey, Gino, two things. One, thank you for your leadership. He's transitioning into a new role over at Lifetime, of course, because he's done such a great job that folks feel the love for him. And number two, and most importantly, I am your biggest cheerleader and advocate. A lot of times I see him working out there. He's a stud. So he'll walk by me and be like, "Oh, I just did, 14,000 of something." And I did like 10 crunches. And I'm like,
and how old is he?
Oh gosh, probably in his late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah, but
right.
I don't look at it that way. I am a competitor. Just like, I'm happy when my Gators beat the Hurricanes in any sport. And then people throw shade on me and I'm like, settle down. By the way, I thought I was nothing but gracious today.
You were,
Alex.
You were. And so, all right, let's play it. Let's see. You got it? Play it.
Are we doing Lean on Me from Bill Withers?
Light.
This is from a movie that I think was starring.
Yes.
He was a principal.
Right.
In maybe Detroit?
No. I think it was in Compton.
Okay.
Tomorrow.